There's that tune. I'm going to pull that face that I do in that trailer. I don't know where that came from. So good to be back. It's Tuesday night tonight, isn't it? Not Monday, our usual. But hey, we are seriously pumped. Thank you for all joining us for tonight. Because remember, this isn't just a hair show. This is your show. Last week, we had over 1,600 comments. How good is that? You lot are making it so good, and we have got an incredible show lined up tonight. We have royalty in the house. But before I say that, just going to give you some house rules. Like this show, remember to share it, get your comments in. I want your questions, anything that you want to ask. If there's anything you want to add opinion to, that's great. This is basically the Visual Now Clubhouse, and I see many of you in tonight who I've got to know on Clubhouse as well. But look, I had to pick her up. Where is that? Here she is. Look, Beverly C, MBE, she's watching in. Jordanna, you better be on your best behaviour tonight. So great to see you. Lee, good to see you back here too. Hiya, Tom. Marlene, nice to see you, Marlene. Christopher Tilley, how you doing, Chris? Nice to see you. The lovely Mary, she's here. What was that? You've been listening to the podcast. Salon Sustainability, really good one there. Hiya, Jessica. Get these comments in. We're going to be flagging these through. Hey, there's Eleni. How you doing? Great start live on the Hair Socials, Eleni. Really enjoyed that. Cherie's here. Good to see Mohammed. He's in the house too. And look, he's waiting here in the green room. Yes, Andrew Barton. We are so excited. Mustafa's there. Look, keep coming. Hey, Elizabeth. Many more. Elizabeth Kempson. Great. Nicola, great to see you today hear you today in Clubhouse. But we're not here to talk about Clubhouse. Who wants to know about what's coming up tonight? I certainly do. Let's go to it. So, coming up on tonight's The Hair Show, yes, we are to be joined by the celebrity and award-winning hairstylist, Andrew Barton, true royalty. But firstly, before we get to meeting Andrew, we've got to bring our co-host onto the show, Georgia Bell, Jordanna Cabela. And as always, you've got to know it now. Kicking off the show is Jordanna's World Hair News. Always love it. What she got for us tonight? Well, round 8:20, Andrew Barton is going to be joining us on the show. He's coming in live. He's going to be joining us with the chat. He's going to be talking about his ABLE program as well as being part of our hot topic as well. So what is our topic tonight? Well, we put this one to Andrew, and we are going to be discussing why are we underplaying working behind the chair. There's a big topic about that. You know, are we glamorizing other areas of the industry, not focusing on working behind the chair? Let us know. That's going to be great. Live listeners phone in. Yes, get phoning in. We've got 2 people waiting to phone in. They've got their questions ready for you. Get your questions in. Dan's weekly challenge. God, if you saw last week, it was social gold. It went everywhere. Sophia Hilton mascara all over the place. We're going a bit easier on the guys today. Jordanna and Andrew are going to be taking up this challenge, which is supported by our friends at Pivot Point. So thank you, Pivot Point. So remember, this is not just a hair show. This is your show. Comment, like, share, get it out. This is what Tuesday nights or what Monday nights are normally made about. And also, have you got your tipple with you? I have, but I haven't got my bottle opener. What a disaster. Help me out on that one. All right. So let's go to it. I'm absolutely excited. Let me see all those love hearts and likes come in before I bring them on. Ready? Come on, like hearts. Good. Here they are. Jordanna Cabela, Georgia Bell. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Good evening.
Hi, Dom.
Your mum's here, Jordanna.
She certainly is. She's getting the revision in for when she's going to be appearing on the show as a guest.
Yeah, she is going to be coming onto the show. Now, I've got to give a shout out, girls, and actually we could both do that, and I hope she's watching tonight. But she actually contacted me. She just said she loves the show, and her son, I think he struggles with dyslexia as well. He's only but he was absolutely loving the show. He's just pointing at the screen, and it's Nadine's son, Mason. So I said the 3 of us would all give him a big wave. So to Mason. Hey,
Hi, Mason.
And Nadine, I don't know how to quite pronounce your surname. Is it Fakir? It does look like that. I'm sorry if it's wrong, but I'm sure many people say that. But look, girls, we actually had an incredible time yesterday, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, really good.
Why was it really good, George? Where did we go?
We went to London and we were filming for Inspirational Minds for the Fantastic Hairdresser.
We were, and it was really strange, wasn't it, Jordanna, to be in that sort of live environment again?
It was, and it does feel like when I see you, Dom, it feels like you're a celebrity because I've heard your voice so much that, and I haven't actually seen you in flesh, that it was actually quite weird.
We said all this actually because I
Yeah,
felt the
we
same
did.
with you two. It's really weird, isn't it, that you see people on the screen. Harriet Stokes was there as well, and you actually all just felt celebrity-like to me. It was really, really weird. So look, we've got some great people in the house here tonight, but I am going to give a shout out that Pivot Point are here. Janet, who is supporting the show, Pivot Point. Uh, got a 25% discount off all their education blocks, tools. If you want to grab that, it's for UK and Ireland customers. Janet's going to be putting that link in the show. So we're going to move along, shall we, Jordanna? Shall we go straight into your World Hair News?
Yeah, far away.
Let's go to it. World Hair News with Jordanna Cabela.
So, kicking off for tonight's hair news, topic number 1 is all about trends. Now, for styling, Dior's ambassador, Jisoo, has sported a very natural approach to waves with longer framing lengths around the face, and her new look was posted to all 34.8 million of her followers later last week. And this look is easily created by sleeping in braids, using a tong, or the infamous S-waves with a straightener. And for colour, we have embracing everything that is beautiful about natural hair. Yes, you heard it, it's grey blending. We've seen colourists grow their following tremendously by specialising in this technique of grey blending, which is an art in itself. Now, we're also seeing some really strong copper hues and 70s vintage reds that have been broadcasted all over our TV screens from the most talked about Netflix shows, which is, of course, The Queen's Gambit and most recently, Bridgerton. And topic number 2, slightly random here, but the elite members of the SAS Army will now be allowed to keep their beards that they've grown during operations when they return home under new military rules. They previously had to have cleanly shaven beards for all ceremonial duties when wearing uniform on parade. So congratulations to the SAS and their beards. And for news topic number 3, we have a very big landmark moment for all of us in the hair and beauty industry as we all achieve government representation under the new personal care sector. As of last week, a campaign led by the British Beauty Council and the NHF has led to the government granting a new reformed sector called personal beauty care. And lastly, I had to throw this in there as news topic number 4 because news came in today that 31 Met Police officers have been handed out £200 fines each for using professional barbers while on duty. Now, the group of officers had their hair cut by a barber while on duty last month, but breaking COVID rules, of course, but the activity was organised for charity originally. And while the officers did donate to charity, they were not excused by their chief borough commander. And that's all from me for tonight's World of Hair News.
Thank you there, Jordanna. You did throw that one in. Where did that one come from? That was a surprise for us.
Well, we had it on the WhatsApp group this evening, and I just thought I need to throw
I've been
that
doing
in.
this all day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was I don't know, something tells me that shouldn't have made front page news because clearly these police officers were partaking in some kind of charitable event and got their hair cut. But at the same time, they should be, representing the same kind of law that we all have to abide by. So mixed feelings about that one.
Yeah, no, and we're just going to pick up actually something which was probably a bit too late for the news. George, did you watch the British Hairdressing Business Awards last night?
No, I didn't. I was on the way back from London, wasn't I?
Of course.
So,
did you watch it, Jordanna? Did you see it?
I didn't tune in, but I had a look at all the winners. Yeah.
I thought it was really good, really slick actually with the light. How many of you watching actually got to see that as well, which I'll be interested to sort of hear on there. And, it's... I did think to myself, if I'm being totally honest, George, it really hard to sort of gauge businesses over the last year.
Yeah, I think so. I think, but all these entries, you have got a good opportunity to write a great entry, and I think businesses more than ever, actually, at this time, have been thinking outside the box more than they've ever had to, because we're faced with such weird circumstances. So it's probably a good opportunity to, explain how you are thinking outside the box and keeping your business going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We talked about that, and Fiona, who we saw yesterday, Inspirational Mind. Thanks for the shout out for Inspirational Minds. It was a truly inspiring day with such a fabulous bunch of talented people. Cracking DJ, by the way, Fiona. But look, really, really exciting stuff. He's waiting in the green room, Jordanna, hairdressing royalty.
Yeah, he is.
Is it about time we brought him on, ladies?
I think it is.
Absolutely.
Come on. Give a big welcome to our guest waiting in the wings, onto the screen, hairdressing royalty, Andrew Barton. Hey, there he is, Andrew Barton.
Hi, Andrew.
Good evening. Hello, everyone.
Look, hey, on a screen, who would have thought years ago when I was watching you on 10 Years Younger that I'd be sat here with you on the same screen and me talking to you? Absolutely mad, isn't it, Andrew, how technology's moved on?
I was 10 years younger as well, Dom.
I reckon 20 years younger then, wasn't it? When was that? When it came back? I mean, that really, it did shoot you to absolute fame, didn't it?
Well, I'd been working around television for a while. So I was doing Lorraine Kelly show on Breakfast Time TV. I'd also done Style Challenge, which I know Beverly Cabela did as well. And so many hairdressers were involved with that show. And I got a call from Maverick Television Productions. They were making this new TV show called 10 Years Younger. And they asked me to audition, and I was blessed that I got the role. But I think what was so wonderful about it, and it's still on repeat on kind of channels across the world as well, is that whenever I speak to hairdressers, they always tell me it was the hair that made the difference. And it didn't matter about the thousands and thousands of pounds worth of cosmetic surgery or dentistry, even the makeup or the fashion. It was that hair moment. And when that camera turned and the mirror turned around and she saw her hair for the first time. And it said to the great British public, as long as you've got great hair, everything's possible.
Yeah, it was a big moment. Jordanna, George, do you remember any of these programmes, watching these?
Yeah, I do remember 10 Years Younger.
Yeah, I would even watch the catch up on YouTube, the ones that were slightly older as well. I loved them.
It was a great show, great show.
How did
It's
your
quite
life change,
funny as well.
Andrew?
Sometimes I can be sat on the underground and I can
I thought
see
you said
a
on your
woman looking
underpants
at
for a
me.
second.
No, underground.
Right, sorry, I
not
hear you.
underpants. And I can be sat on the underground and I can see a woman looking across at me in the carriage, and she's like, is that hairdresser? And then she can't help herself and she has to say, should I have a fringe? Should I go blonde? And then before I know it, I'm doing consultations on an open carriage on the tube.
Yeah, is there room for a show like these again?
Oh, I'm sure. I think kind of the great British public and the consumer is absolutely enthralled by not only how to look younger, but how to look their very best. And, what I learnt about the show was this incredible power that we have as hairdressers working in the salon behind the chair, no matter how big or small the environment that you work in. We have this incredible power to not only transform how somebody looks, but how they feel about themselves as well. And, I think that's what we're all missing at the moment. That's the big thing that we're missing, because that's the addiction of being a hairdresser, is making someone happy when transforming their hair. It's not always just the physical creation of doing hair. It's that connection that you have of making someone happy.
And have you told the girls and everybody watching about this latest programme that you've been involved in? I'd love to just share what you've been working on recently.
Oh, like the hair show. I'm working on something that's an internet sensation. and it's called Wonderbirds. And it's 4 of the actresses who are known for TV kind of shows that they've appeared on, but also for the Loose Women show. They've all appeared on Loose Women over the years. And during first lockdown, they set up this Zoom kind of online kind of TV program. 3 times a week it's broadcast, called Wonderbirds. They really are Wonderbirds as well. And they've asked me to be the resident hairdresser on the show. So I appear every week, every other week, and I talk carte blanche about hair and the meaning of hair.
And also, you've stepped into the creative communications role with Headmasters as well, director there at Headmasters.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, my career's kind of, I've worked from a small independent salon, but most of my time has really been in the big salon groups. And 3 years ago, I joined Headmasters as creative director, and I have to say it's been kind of one of the most exciting parts of my career. It's just wonderful. We employ nearly 1,000 people and just shy of 60 salons. And I think what the great fit is with Headmasters is that we have this synergy around beautiful, fashionable, confidence-boosting hair. Their ethos is my ethos around hair. So it's a perfect marriage.
And we've got some great questions coming in on that. And actually, for all of you that are watching this tonight, we're going to have a point in the show where your questions, all right? Because Andrew's career is huge. I mean, he's honestly, listen to our podcast. Was it my second podcast I ever done, Andrew?
I think it was, Dom, yeah.
And we came to Harrods, didn't we? And I was so nervous doing it. But we got your story, but his career has just moved on. So any questions that you've got for Andrew, then join our live phone in, or we have 2 guests who are going to phone in for this, but put those questions to it. Now, I don't want to go into this in too much of a big, but I want to show the video because Able is something that is really important to you, isn't it, Andrew? And this is Andrew Barton, London Education.
Yeah, that's right.
So rather than you telling us too much about this, should we just play a little video? So just listen to this, everybody, and just really relate to where Andrew's going with this. I love this video. So let's have a little play of it.
Hi, I'm Andrew Barton, celebrity hairdresser, and I care passionately about hairdressing training and the future careers of the hairdressers of tomorrow. And that's why I've created the unique Able Scholarship. The programme runs alongside the apprenticeship provision and full-time study programme exclusively at educational institutions. Able respects the MVQ and technical routes, whilst further offering industry insights, technical training and advice based from my award-winning career. I have designed the programme to excite and ignite the learning process and provide a higher level of training to help able students become the very best that they can be and raise their expectations of their careers. I know that with great training, a good attitude and a desire to succeed, everything is possible, and it's why this programme will able the stylists of the future. There are many benefits for students who complete the ABLE programme, but there are huge benefits for the institutions of further education too. From closer links to industry and employers, to growth in apprenticeships, regular CPD opportunities for staff, and an increased reputation as a centre of excellence. ABLE is the perfect tool to help the department grow and increase your success. I have created ABLE to educate in a fresh, contemporary style with a syllabus that is engaging and empowering throughout the various learning tools. The tools include a bi-monthly video tutorial, 12 in total, that run alongside the MVQ mandatory minimal standards, but with my industry know-how. Further to this, the Little Black Book that sets in print a comprehensive guide to salon etiquette and standards of hairdressing. It's a quality control Bible of best salon practices. And with a private members Facebook and blog, that shares all that's happening in my hairdressing world, able students are connected to the wider world of aspirational hairdressing. And there's more. I will visit the college annually for a hairdressing showcase and share a unique aspirational day in London where able students will unite in a creative, motivational session. And of course, there is the relationship that we will build together to further support all of our successes.
Wow, I think that's a round of applause. I love what you're doing. What do you think there, ladies? Look,
Yeah,
great.
sounds
Charlotte
fab.
says
It looks amazing, Andrew.
Sounds fabulous. What an
Thank
opportunity. Mary, Able Scholarship. Wow. Yeah, there's just some great comments coming in there on what you're doing. Sounds amazing, Luke, Tom. What a thing to be able to create an offer in your career. Marlene, she says, sounds fantastic. Wow. Andrew, I mean, where did it all come from on this?
Well, I think like everybody in the industry, I think at points we've all got very tired about this constant debate of what's better, salon training, apprenticeship, or further education college training. What the objective of ABLE is to bridge that gap between industry and further education colleges. There are some incredible lecturers and further education colleges across the UK. And what our aspiration and objective at ABLE is about bridging that gap to get both of those better together so that students that are studying hairdressing today are more able to be on our salon floors as brilliant hairdressers and be the future of British hairdressing. And that really is passionately in my heart.
And that's why we all love you. I mean, George, what do you say to that?
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's something that's brought up in our industry all the time. Is where a student's going to get that little bit of extra to really kind of set them up. And I think having something like this what an amazing opportunity.
And the thing is, sorry for interrupting, but the thing is as well, it's never been about taking on the MBQ or the traditional syllabus. It's to run alongside, so that a student has got both of these kind of standards to help them be more employable and more salon ready when we employ them.
Yeah, Jordanna,
I think we need that.
Yeah, and your mum's just said it will take MVQ experience to another level. What would you say on that, Jordanna?
I think she's absolutely right there. And you know, when we look at the MVQ curriculum, it does cover a lot of the foundations, and particularly with the theory, which is great. But in terms of practical practice, I think this could be a real supplementary aid that a lot of, you know, aspiring hairdressers actually really need. And like you said, bridging the gap coming from an industry leader, I think there's a huge gap in the market for it, and I can only see it doing really well.
And there's a question.
Thank you. I mean, the other objective and the plan for ABLE as well is to take it that next step further and to be able to offer it to salons, so salon owners can access it as well to deliver their own in-salon training.
And Andrew, there's a question I'm keen to ask. It comes from Denise Marlene. Is it available in Scottish colleges just now?
Yes, we can make that available. So at the end of the show, there'll be all the links of how you can contact me, and you can contact me directly, and we'll be able to help you.
So maybe Dan, if he's watching it, you could just go and search it out. Or Sharon's there, the PR, the lovely Sharon, who's always looks after us so well. Put it in the comments if anybody's interested in anything that we talk about. And later on in the show as well, we will go into a little bit of the charity work that Andrew's doing as well. I've got to give a shout out on that. But Andrew is really passionate about the industry. I think that's fair for you all to agree. You can see he genuinely is a hairdresser. He's a working hairdresser. Yes, he does all these incredible things, but he's still a hairdresser at heart. And I think that's what we all love about him. And we sort of, when we bring on these wonderful, you know, celebrity A guests from the hair industry, and we say, look, what would you like to talk about? And Andrew said, look, well, for the topic that I'd love to talk about is about being behind the chair. You know, let's not underestimate the power of working behind the chair. So that's going to be our topic tonight. We're going to have 15 minutes. We're really hot on this. Add your comments in. I'm going to be keeping a check on your comments. The girls are going to be talking to Andrew about it, and let's see where it goes. So if you're ready for it, Hairdressers Open Talk. Great. So, are we underplaying working behind the chair? 15 minutes we got on this. So, Andrew, where do you want to start on this? Why did you want this as a topic tonight?
Well, I think as an industry, we're very aware that there is a skill shortage. We all want to employ better, more qualified, more experienced people. And this is definitely not me having a go at anybody or even opening a debate as such. But I think for too long, the session hairdresser has been over glamorized as the ultimate thing to achieve in one's career as a hairdresser. And my thoughts around that are, I am a session hairdresser. You know, I work a column, I manage and own a salon. I have an agent that gets me work as a session hairdresser. But ultimately, I really feel very strongly that what needs glamorizing in our industry is championing the success of the salon-based hairdresser, the person behind the chair who makes an incredible career for themselves, and that subject that we never talk about in the industry, making a great living and a great lifestyle for themselves as well. So I feel this really passionately. It's not against the session hairdresser, but it is about championing the person that works behind the chair, makes a great career, makes a great living, and glamorizing that. We need to do that.
I've got to go with that, Jordanna, haven't we? That, you know, what Andrew's just saying, glamorizing behind the chair, because I just feel that maybe we're all becoming, we all want to be coaches now. Nothing wrong with this, as Andrew says, and online educators, but I don't hear enough people saying, I want to be brilliant behind the chair. What's your take on that?
Well, I think there's a comment that just came through about you get your L plates from being behind the chair, and it's so true. I think that's the foundation of our industry. And even with managing my team of 30 and being involved in Fashion Week myself, I still have days where the only thing that makes me tick is having a full column and engaging with that client and back to basics of connecting with people, making them feel and look better. And I think maybe the reason why it's taken a little bit of a backseat in terms of being glamorized is because session hair is still more unusual, the more sort of unusual path to follow. And so there's not as many session stylists as there are people behind the chair. And it could be that the people behind the chair are so happy in what they do that we're not talking about it and celebrating it as much. But I really like your initiative and your movement to do that, because it's something that we all love and we all have such a foundational passion for.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And George is the everyday hairdresser, aren't you, George? I mean, that's really what your brand has sort of grown upon. An everyday hairdresser for me is a person who is that foot soldier behind the chair. So I'm really interested to hear what your take is on this. As you know, as
No,
your
yeah,
career's been
absolutely.
growing.
Do you know what? There was a lot before COVID. There was a lot of going out, doing industry stuff, and then it all stopped. And then all of a sudden, on reopening, I found myself back behind the chair again, 6-7 days a week, catching up. And it was actually the most I got out of my job was just making people feel wonderful. And I think, session is fantastic. It can be a fantastic opportunity, but you've got to remember, you've got to be very, very, very good at session to make a decent living from it. And I think you can get a little bit blinded by the lights that it can provide if you're not making money from it. And I think you need to be very careful. And I think if you do want to have a successful career behind the chair, which I think is completely possible, and you want to include session within that, I think you've got to sit down and work out a very healthy balance, because actually you can
really
chase it and get nothing.
I think, sorry there, George, but Marlene's just put, you can't beat the buzz of a busy Saturday with a full team and delighted clients, Andrew. You like that, yeah? Yeah, what that is special. I think all of us as hairdressers, sometimes I hear, working Saturdays, but would you not all agree there's something special about a Saturday day at the salon?
Yeah, I love it. Even when you're
Andrew?
running behind, you get a buzz, don't you?
Absolutely.
I goosebumps from talking about it because I miss it so much.
Yeah.
Like I
Me
just want
too.
that
And
gin
even
in when 6 o'clock comes on a Saturday
Oh,
and the
God.
debrief with the team. It's so good.
Yes. Yeah, do you know that feeling that I reckon we all got? Sorry, Andrew, but while you just said that, Jordan, I really miss that end of week feeling of that sense of like, oh, I am completely knackered, and you're looking forward to your Saturday night. But God, I miss that feeling, and the team. And Andrew, you can see that really has sparked you there, that Saturday vibe.
Absolutely, and I think I can join all that conversation and we can talk about it all night. But I think one of the things that we have to be aware of is about apprentices coming into our industry, the changing effect to our industry because of COVID. We have to make this industry as sexy and as exciting as possible. And that does not mean that it necessarily has to be the ultimate, that you're just doing catwalk and fashion. The ultimate is working in that fantastic, busy, thriving salon environment and making a great living for yourself, having a nice home, being able to go on nice holidays. And also, let's not forget as well, the salon, whether it's in a village, town or city, is the pillar of the community. It's the place where everybody goes to. And the people that work in there are often the coolest people without having to do hair on London fashion catwalks.
Oh, absolutely. God, honestly,
For
if we
me,
could bottle this
it's not
up.
about dissing session at all. Please let me quote that. But it's about celebrating the success of being a salon hairdresser. There is nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And Joe Mills, hi Joe, great to have you along. Real fan of Joe. And Jordanna, he says most session hairdressers still have to work in a shop or at least cut hair to make up the money, to be honest. I mean, is that something you go with on that?
Yeah, definitely. I know some beautiful hairdressers who cover both. And I think that's a really important skill to be able to have, having that foundational knowledge of cutting hair behind the chair. Every single day, you've got a new challenge. Every new client is a completely new situation you're thrown into. An hour to cut their hair, an hour to design something, connect with the client, make them feel amazing and get them to pay. It's a lot to do in an hour. So when session hairstylists make that their full-time career, a lot of the time they actually really do miss that buzz. But of course, where it takes you sometimes, it means that you can't juggle both. But Sarah Mason from Ireland, I know that she juggles both really well. She works and does Fashion Week only in the seasons, and then she's got her salon as well. So it's amazing to see that people can do both, and it's amazing to see what life behind the chair can take, where it can take you, the platforms it can give you, whether it's TV, celebrity hair, or film. But that's your foundation, and we should celebrate that more.
That's fantastic. Your mum's just come in here again, Beverly. It's all too easy to glamorise a session celebrity and showside. You cannot beat the buzz and family team of a salon. And George, I think that's something that I had down here in my comments about the family buzz. And the team camaraderie that you get. I mean, do you feel
I've
that
said it 1,000. Yeah, absolutely. I've said it 1,000 times over. One of the reasons why I believe we're so busy and so popular is because everybody comes to have a natter. They come to have their hair done, but they come to talk about 10 years ago at Tiffany's and what they did last week and whose party they went to. It's a big part. Everyone knows everybody in my shop, and I think that really helps with the buzz.
Yeah, Irene's just said here, Andrew, I'm one-to-one client, but I love the feeling of running behind, music playing, laughing, and a glass of wine after. Oh, we are all just such hairdressers here. And but why have we maybe? Is there another side to the this working behind the chair that maybe is? What we're a bit fearful of. Is there a downside to being behind the chair? And that's something else that I'd be interested to hear, Andrew. I mean, do you see a downside of being behind the chair 5 days a week?
Well, I think, bouncing back from COVID is going to be kind of an issue that we all have to address as managers and salon owners. We're going to race into some very, very busy weeks for some time when we get back to business. And we have to think about the well-being and welfare of the people that work around us as managers. And we all know that, yes, standing on your feet, hunched over a hairdryer, working away in a salon can be physically tiring at times, as well as mentally, emotionally tiring as well. But it's a fantastic creative showcase of what you can do with your hands and the skills that you've learned. So for me, it's all about when I meet an apprentice, when I meet a young stylist, I want to talk to them about what they can expect from a career as being a busy salon hairdresser. And I'm getting back to that point as well of the lifestyle that they can expect. Because, you know, by being a busy hairdresser, there is financial gain as well.
Can we earn good
I
money
think that's
then,
something
Andrew?
that we never talk about.
Yeah, we can earn good money then, being behind the
Yes,
chair. We
we
don't
can
have to
earn
be
good
some,
money.
amazing online educator, session size. I could have a great living from working behind the chair.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think, you know, the industry has evolved over the years and has got a lot more sophisticated. But the one thing that's absolutely runs as a parallel to all of our chairs, we have clients that come into our salons desperately wanting information and advice about their hair, how to make it look better. And I'm going back to 10 years younger, Dom. Thanks for that cue earlier. They want to look 10 years younger. They want to look sexier, cooler, better. And who better to tell them than the experts that we are? And what COVID's absolutely done is made the general public realise just how important we are to them as people, as individuals.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jordanna, George, go on. Jordanna, what do you have a little say on that?
Absolutely. I think it's so hard not to smile when you talk, Andrew, because you really personify the passion of hairdressers. It really shines through when you speak. It makes me really proud to do what we do.
Yeah, I'm just sat here with a big smile, Andrew. Honestly, that energy and love for it. Honestly, I can
And
see
I miss it, and I want to do it now, and I want to go back.
Me too.
Tomorrow.
I mean, you know, it's like, it's funny. It's like I go on shows like this, or I talk and
not as good as this, Andrew, by the way.
But Dom, I still pinch myself and cannot believe that I come from a council estate in Yorkshire. Do you mean I trained in a village salon, and now I have a salon in Mayfair, and I've got my own product range and blah 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 blah. But what I love more than anything is standing behind that chair and looking after my client. And I'm getting really emotional. Sorry.
Oh, it's wonderful. I think what's beautiful to hear, honestly, Andrew, it's lovely. And I think really, again, for you, George and Jordanna, you know, as people, oh, Andrew, look, isn't that beautiful? Come on, Andrew, amazing to feel you say that. And I have to say, that shows you the sheer passion that Andrew. He's going to start me off as well. Come on, we can't have two grown men starting to get teary here. I think that's absolutely wonderful, and I think it's just so beautiful to hear. Jordanna, George, I think it's really important that that we really get this message over, isn't it? That we, you know, the joys of it, but equally, it's important, George. There are other areas outside of what we do behind a chair, just to break up the intensity of being behind a chair.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think if you really want avenues into those other exciting things that the industry has to offer, the key factor here is to get really comfortable and really good behind the chair. And once you've got that staple, then, go and have your adventures. I think the main mistake we can make is sort of running before we can walk. And I think being behind the chair can provide you with a good lot of years of a good income and a great career.
Definitely.
And I think we're all agreeing as well, aren't we, that the salon is an incredibly exciting place. There's nowhere on the high street like a salon.
No.
Do you know what? And there's a campaign going right now, isn't there? All of us, save our salons. And I think that's so, if there's ever a time now, we have to save our salons, Jordanna. This behind the chair is the heartbeat of our communities, isn't it? I mean, we really have got to look after ourselves as an industry, Jordanna.
I'm just going to plug that even further. So at Save Our Salons on Instagram or www.saveoursalons.co.uk, you can sign up to that, download the letter template and send that off to your local MP in hope that the government will at least take our industry a little bit more seriously and chop the VAT so that we've got a higher chance of survival rates for the next 12 months, just to give us all a little bit of extra help. So please do that if you're a salon or a stylist.
And share this out, everybody. Let people see this tonight, and let me see that passion, what Andrew shared there. If you need to get your team, young people inspired, listen to that message. Absolutely beautiful. Dan will put the links in the show notes. Save our salons as well. So oh, wow.
Just about got it in there, guys.
Round of applause. Andrew, that was just beautiful. Really beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
I think to introduce you to an audience that maybe don't always see that Andrew Barton, we see so often the brilliant Andrew Barton, but to hear you talk as the everyday hairdresser that you are, and your roots, as you always say, excuse the pun, but your roots are so enriched in hairdressing. I just absolutely love that. Did you enjoy that,
guys?
George?
You're doing a great job. Thank you for doing this. You're doing such a great job.
Honestly, 1 minute we've got Sophia Hilton with mascara running all down her face, haven't we, George, with eating hot chilies to actually, this message. But I think, look, ultimately, it is about, as an industry, to talk ideas and just feel excited and have a smile and a laugh, share tears at times. It's just wonderful, and the community has been great. Any comments coming in? I mean, there's some great ones here coming in. You're so much better than last week's audience, I have to say. I say it every week. Who used to say that? Can you remember that? Any guesses? Anybody used to say?
I can't remember. Before my time, that.
It is before your time. Andrew, anybody who comes up with that answer, they've got. We'll send you a mug when we start sending out our branded mugs. I haven't got them sorted yet, but they will be coming soon. Great show, that's, by the way. Lee's just said, this is one of the best shows tonight. Guests and topics so far. Really, really wonderful. And I think it's because it came from the heart, Andrew. That was what's so
do you know what,
special.
Andrew? You've actually inspired me to get off my arse and do my flatmate's hair, because she's been begging me. We live together, and she's like, look, you're not doing any clients, so it's time for me to have my hair done. And you just go, yeah, we'll do it next week, And now I'm like, you know what? I'll give you those highlights, darling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to throw that straight back at you as well. Then you've inspired me, because Phil, my boyfriend, has needed his hair cutting for at least 3 weeks, and I've got to do it this weekend.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
I'm ready.
Well, look, guys, it's just a beautiful show tonight, and like I say, it's just a fantastic. I just see Jonathan Graham. Hiya, Jonathan, our friends at Hair Uncut. Such a great community there as well. Great to see you here. Larry, love the show, guys. Thank you, guys, giving us inspiration and positivity for our industry. Isn't that wonderful, Andrew, when you hear this? And this is why I love these shows, because it's just live, it's raw. We can sit wherever you are, comfy, probably all cozy, watching this. Like I say, just loving the show. So Dan's put that link in there, education. Great stuff. Faye's got the correct answer. Well done, you, Faye. Faye, we need to talk, by the way. Here's the answer. You're so much better than last week's audience was Bruce Forsyth. Yeah.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, play your cards right. That's where you used to say it all the time. But it's us old ones to remember. Anyway, we're going off on one. Look, our next part, have you got any questions for Andrew? Because the next segment coming up is questions, and I have 2 callers who can probably just hear me on my phone to the side, and they've got their questions. There are How to Cut It Patreons, and part of that is they can put the questions to our guests. They get the first opportunity of this. So if we're ready for it, we're going to go to our questions with Andrew Barton. Right, so remember, we are going to do it. Now, I originally said it was going to be Mustafa who's going to ask the first question, but it's going to be Lizzie who's going to ask the first question. So hopefully this will work. Sorry, Mustafa, Lizzie, but I've messed that up a little bit. So it's going to be you first, Lizzie. So can you hear us, Lizzie, if you're there? Lizzie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
I'm so happy and relieved when this works. This, honestly, honestly, it's great. Can you hear us, by the way, behind the scenes while you're sat there watching the show?
No, I was a bit concerned that something was going to go wrong because I couldn't hear you, so I'm quite relieved to hear you now.
Well, so was I relieved. But now, look, it's wicked. Lizzie's such a... Lizzie, actually, you run the How to Cut It Young Guns, don't you?
Yeah. So me and you do that together. I really enjoy it, actually. It's a role I take quite seriously.
Yeah, she's really represents young hairdresser. I love Lizzie. I'm such a fan of Lizzie. But anyway, Andrew, Lizzie has I think, a great question for you. So fire away, Lizzie. What's your question for Andrew?
Hi, Andrew. So my question is, in your opinion, what is the secret to long-term success in this industry?
Great question.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one, really. I don't think there is any kind of secret. I think it's just... Do you know what I learned as an apprentice, and it stayed with me throughout my career, has been never to accept okay as a standard, because it means it's not. And that's been a guiding light throughout all my successes and failures. And it's something that inspires me today and inspires me to think about how I can be successful, whatever project I'm working on. So I think I've gone all the way around the council hours as to answer your question, but I think I've answered it, and that's been my guiding light to the successes that I've experienced in my career.
How's that for you, Lizzie?
No, that's incredible. I think that was a great answer, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Lizzie, for doing that, phoning in, and for everything else. Andrew's just, wiping his brow of relief there. But a great question, Lizzie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. I feel like Saturday Swap Shop. Again, I've shown me age again. These phone-ins. Oh, God, Lord. Anyway, hey, I'm proud of my age. So, welcome along, Mustafa Hussain. Mustafa, are you there, my friend?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, and everybody else can as well.
Hi Andrew. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
So have you got a question, Mustafa?
So, yes, I do. So my question, Andrew, is if you had the opportunity to, in these times of COVID and economic panic, would you open another hair salon? And if so, would you do it the same way? And if you wouldn't open a salon, why would that be?
Whoa, that is
okay.
A fantastic question.
That's a great question. I'm going to invite myself back on the show at another time to talk about a project that I'm working on at the moment called Boost to Revive. And it's how I'm dealing with COVID and how I'm thinking about when I get back to business, what I will do. This sounds like a long answer, Mustafa, and it's not, but my plan is to open another salon, yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. What inspired you to ask that question, Mustafa? I'm interested.
Okay, so I am a micro hair salon owner in a small town in Kent, and it has been one of the most rewarding yet one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my entire career. And I feel that, as with your hot topic today, that working behind a chair, working as a salon owner or a top stylist in a salon is so the most important part of our industry. And I can only imagine that over 90% of our industry are behind the chair each and every day and working in salons. And that is really where the heroes and my ambassadors for the industry are. So I just feel it's important.
For that one. Come on, and lots of love hearts for that. Mustafa, absolutely fantastic, my friend. It's been great to connect with you, and I know we have our VIP call coming up very soon as well, so I'm looking forward to that, Mustafa. So thank you for bringing your question tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How good was that? Great stuff. I love that. Do you like these phone-ins, girls?
Yeah, I love it.
Looks like we're on Good Morning TV or something. You know?
I can't believe I'm doing it. Honestly, great questions as well. So if you would like to put your questions, actually I put that to our How to Cut It Patreon members as well. We put it in our insiders and they all support How to Cut It. And one of those benefits, I say, look, you got questions for our guests. So if we haven't got guests, then I'm going to throw them out to you. But the next best thing is I say questions for Andrew, put them in the comments. So the first one I see here is from Kenley. Hey, Kenley. If there was a room, Andrew, what's your option on home salon pods in gardens, etc.? It seems I blog post COVID trend. I'd love to know all of your options on this. Yeah, there's a lot of these sort of home salon pods now, isn't there? And opening up, these sort of salons. What's your thoughts on that?
You know, I think the industry is so incredibly diverse. Consumers today have got so many options about how they have their hair styled, cut, coloured. And I think whatever works for you, if that's the environment that you enjoy working in and aspire to working in, then fantastic. You know, I personally would miss the buzz of a team of people around me, everything from 16, 17, 18-year-old, 20-year-old apprentices to my most experienced stylist who's 10 years older than me. So, you know, I think there's horses for different courses. And if that fits for you, then fantastic. Professional standards are the foundation.
Again, there's a 20-second lag here. I appreciate that. So if you've got questions, just get them in. So I'm going to have a couple more minutes before we go to random. So get them in. I appreciate there's a delay. So I'll wait for that to come in. But Jordanna, have you got a question that you'd love to ask Andrew?
So I pulled one up from here earlier. Let me just try and find it. I think it was Justin that asked the question, and it was a really good one. Justin, can you just reply to that again? Sorry.
Okay.
I've got a question for you, Andrew.
Yeah, go on, George.
What made you decide hairdressing as a career?
I'll try and keep this short, but like many hairdressers, I wasn't that academic at school. Every report went home to my parents and said, Andrew would be a great scholar if only he stopped talking and smoking around the back of the bike sheds. But the one thing that I was good at and that I found interesting was art and design and anything aesthetic. So I was destined for art college, and I started studying surface pattern design. I wanted to be a fabric designer, and the working class lad in me had enough of college and school, and I literally just got a job in hairdressing. There was no aspiration to be a hairdresser. But I've realised as the decades have gone past that I did become that surface pattern designer. I just work with a different fabric.
Cool. And Jordanna, I can see the questions come in as well from Justin. So
I found the question. What is your career highlight? Now you've had a really colourful career, haven't you? Working with top names, and like you said, literally starting from the very bottom. So give us your career highlight.
You know, I think your mother would answer the same question as well, but you know, being crowned British Hairdresser of the Year in front of all your peers in a glittering ceremony on Park Lane with your mother and friends and colleagues around you is pretty amazing. But, you know, also walking down the aisles of Asda with my own signature hair care range is still kind of superbly exciting.
I mean, there isn't much that you haven't done, is there? Really, Andrew, all these things.
Yeah.
You're trying to pick it from those.
Yeah. And I guess being awarded the first ever honorary doctorate by a university given to a hairdresser for services to the industry was like, wow, that was up there.
Yeah. Well, look, I tell you, I'm keen to move this on a little. There's some great questions coming in now. Maybe Andrew later on he can sit down and maybe come back in and have a little replay and he can answer some of those questions. There are some questions that you are asking that he might get asked again in a minute, so I might have to hold back on that. But look, we're going to move on now to our next bit before we have the challenge. All right, you have all got to stick around and watch this challenge. Both Jordanna and Andrew are very apprehensive about what's coming their way. And so we will reveal that shortly. But before that, we're going to just have what we call our random topic. Mrs. Lahane has done an envelope here, a topic. I don't know what's in them. And then we're just going to talk around it. So wherever it goes, and George, I'm going to let you lead on whatever this topic may be. So here we go, random topic.
Don't do that.
So here we go, random topic, just a few minutes. It could be light-hearted again. So we've got 1, 2 or 3. Andrew, you're our guest. What number shall we open? 1, 2 or 3?
Number 3.
Number 3. Tonight you've won a caravan. You're so much Where are you going to park your caravan? That would be a random topic, wouldn't it? If you had a caravan, where would you park your caravan?
I've always wanted a caravan.
I'd love a caravan. Who would like a caravan? Yes,
Me.
So, okay, if you was an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Okay, really quick.
Yeah, right. George, if you was an animal, and you guys
I'd
all
be this
watching,
one.
if you...
I'd be
cuteness
this one because
value.
she's got the best life.
If I was an animal, what would I be and why?
Oh, beautiful, yeah. What would you be? And everybody else, you can answer these questions as well. So, if you was an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Okay, mine's really silly. I really like the cat from Austin Powers, the one with no fur that looks like it's meant to be a villain's cat that looks really
Oh my God,
ugly,
I can
like
see
a
it now.
Sphinx cat. So I would be one of those really ugly, cute, evil cats, Sphinx cats. That's what I'd be. That look like. I was going to say something, but I can't say it's too early.
Yeah, we're just coming up to 9 o'clock watershed moment. So,
Yeah.
Cool. And what would you be, Jordanna, if you was an animal? What would you be and
Oh,
why?
I'd definitely be a bird because I always dream about flying and I think it must be the best feeling ever. So I'd be a bird.
Oh, that feeling of flying. That's great. Other than your beautiful beagle, what's her name?
Ruby.
Oh, Ruby. I have 2 dogs as well. 2 cockapoos. Very, very hairdressy kind of when I walk around the villagers. Yeah, my big burly image.
I saw your dogs playing on your garden. I think you missed this. Put a video up on Facebook. The other day,
Yes,
though,
yeah,
and they were
yes.
lovely.
No, they were beautiful. They're beautiful dogs. What would you be then, Andrew? What animal would you be? And I'm going to pick up some of our listeners and see what they're going to be, if they were going to be an animal. And
I'd be Ruby, my beagle, because she's spoilt to death. She gets fed amazing food. She gets walked 3 times a day. She gets the best part of the sofa. She sleeps in the bed. Yeah, she rules the house. I'd absolutely be Ruby, my beagle.
oh, easy one. I'd be a koala bear. I quite like. I'm a koala. I think a koala bear just sits on a tree, sleeps and eats all day. Looks marvellous to me. A bit like what Emma said, you know, a sloth taking life easy. Yeah, you know what I mean? They look very chilled and, hey, why? I don't want to be anything energetic, having to go for too many walks or that. Just put me up a tree, eat on the leaves and...
I think next time you get the chance for a fancy dress party, Dom, you must go as a koala bear.
I would love a fancy dress party. That would be very good. Here's another question. So, what have we got here then? So, Emma, a sloth. Mr. Bigglesworth, is that an answer? We got Faye, a butterfly. Faye, I could see you being a butterfly. They don't live very long, though, do they, butterflies?
I don't know.
No, they don't, do they? How long do butterflies live? They don't live long.
Dolphin.
Yeah. You thought you were watching a hair show. I told you it's not all about hair. A sphinx, that's nice.
That's what I'd be in it. A sphinx.
A cat,
Well,
definitely,
is that
because
what
they're
I'd be?
independent, sleep a lot, and don't take any shit. Ha ha. Oh. Unless, unless you got a dog chasing after it. So cats, that's definitely going here. Bird, yeah, Rosalind, definitely a bird. And Nicola, I'd be a golden Labrador. Like my fur baby. She's gorgeous and funny. Dolphin, Denise. I'd like to be a dolphin. Don't we love dolphins? Swim for miles? No?
I'm becoming a bit more interested in what everybody's favourite fancy dress outfit will be.
Yeah.
Lee, Dom would be like a bear up the tree. Remember that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, great. Anyway, great. So there's some good answers coming in there. Random topic. That's fun. Are we ready for it then, everybody? George, are you ready for it?
It's
you
time
can
for
feel
the
a sigh of
challenge.
relief. So,
I'm excited.
Yeah, well, look, we're going to go into this now. As you know, everybody watching in, this is where we set a weekly challenge. Whoever's taken up the challenge don't know what the challenge is. Only Dan knows what this challenge is going to be. And yeah, so these are always wicked. So let's go to this week's The Hair Show Challenge. Watch the screen.
Good evening, everyone. This week's task is a straight line to the finish. In front of you have a doll's head, sent by our friends at Pivot Point. You have 2 grips, a comb, a brush, and a pair of clippers.
Okay.
My task to you this week is to recreate the iconic TV hairstyle worn by Claudia Winkleman with said pair of clippers. You have 2.5 minutes to do a
2.5 minutes.
equal balance hairstyle with a fringe. The back of this hairstyle must be no higher than shoulder length, as I don't want to see any waist. Usually for 2 pros like yourself, this would be a walk in the park, but this is my task and I want to see you do it blindfolded. Along the way, Dom and Georgia have a few questions for you. Good luck. Don't slip.
Right, okay, before we go, so we're going to just let you guys get yourselves set up. All right, so what we are going to allow you to do, right, so you only have 2.5 minutes and you are going to be blindfolded, so we appreciate that. We want to make sure that these blockheads who have been supported by our friends at Pivot Point get plenty of use after, all right? We don't want to waste. So, as Dan said, try and keep it below the shoulders. We know you're going to be blindfolded, but get your block set up. You can section off your fringe and you can do a section of the back before you start. And then whilst you get set up, we'll then say go, and then you've got 2.5 minutes to do that look and recreate. There is going to be a bit of fun on this. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Can I just throw something in?
You can do it, guys. You can do it.
Can you what? Sorry, Andrew?
I just need to let you know my computer and my IT and everything and my internet have all just crashed.
Yeah, right, okay. Okay, so right, get yourselves all sorted and ready then, get your blockhead. So while you're doing so get our friends there, so Janet's put we've got a lockdown offer. Look at that, if you're working on blockheads right now, 25% off all orders, excluding hair swatches, that's on Pivot Point. .co.uk. So get your blockheads in. And by the way, we don't get anything for this endorsement. They're just supporting us on this, which is great. And one of the things is that we do tend to like to get some more use out of these. And right, so are you getting ready, George? Are you watching this, George?
I'm watching it. I'm ready. I've got my questions ready and raring to go, Dom.
Me too. Yeah, me too. So we're just getting ready for Jordanna. Where are you, Jordanna? How are we doing?
Jordanna's run off, everyone. She's run off.
Right. Are you happy to go on that? Are you going to section or are you just going to... So we want that Claude Winkleman look.
Can we section?
Yeah, you can do a section before you go.
Your fringe.
Yeah. Everybody's just waiting. Look, there's lots of ha-has. Your mum's just said good luck, guys. 2.5.
Oh, you're all cruel, cruel people.
You are all really cruel.
There's my mum, Janice Wood. Say hello to Janice Wood. She's watching. That's great. Good answer.
Hi, Janice
We've
Wood.
got the mums in tonight, Jordanna. Now let's see your vertical layer, Mr. Barton. Right, are you ready?
Oh.
So you've got 2.5 minutes. George, you will go first on the questions. Ready? Are you blindfolded?
Can
we just see?
Blindfold on.
Yeah, blindfolds.
Blindfold on.
Right, let me grip off. Let me section first.
This is a hard challenge, all right, guys? These are pros at the best. Are you absolutely curious? I can't wait to see them go.
Andrew, are you going straight in with the fringe or are you starting at the back?
We're not going into any technical seminars.
You're not conferring on techniques,
Come on.
guys.
Right, blindfolds on. Blindfolds on.
Right. Jordanna.
Yeah.
Jordanna, I want to know where that blindfold was in your house. It was quite special.
It was covering the handcuffs, Andrew.
I've got an Easy Dry towel, one of the Headmasters branded Easy Dry towels. Easy Dry will be really pleased that I'm using it.
Right, well, get it on then. Come on, let's get to it.
Get it on.
Here we go.
Get it on.
And you've got nothing to eat. All right. And now we can introduce the kissograms. They're waiting outside.
I can't even see to pick up the clippers.
Right, okay. So get yourself in that start. Don't start yet, Jordanna. Get your first. Get ready. All right. Ready, steady, and listen out for the questions. Steady, go. Right, George, do you want to ask your questions?
Yeah, of course. So, Andrew, my first question is to you. Could you tell me what would be a deal breaker on a date?
I can't hear you. I've got a blindfold on.
What would be a deal breaker on a date?
Oh, bad tasting wine.
Right.
Go on, keep
So,
them going. Keep them
Jordanna.
going, George. Keep asking.
Okay, Jordanna, I've got a question for you. Who is your musical guilty pleasure?
Musical guilty pleasure. Florence and the Machine.
Okay, you got 1.5 minutes.
Nice.
1.5 minutes. Keep the questions
All
going,
right,
George.
Okay, I've got another question for you, Andrew. Who is your favourite fashion designer?
Valentino.
Nice.
I'm concentrating.
Great.
I can't do two things at once. I'm a man.
I know.
Jordanna,
Sorry,
who
okay,
is
so-
your favourite hairdresser?
Who is my favourite hairdresser?
Say Andrew Barton, Jordanna.
1 minute. Coming up to 1 minute. 1 minute. You better crack on with that length in a minute, Jordanna.
Oh yeah, I would say Guido because he's so different. I don't know why I'm shouting.
Right, go on. You've got just under a minute, so you better. Andrew, you are doing good. Jordanna, you better get on with that length. All right. Look at this. I tell you guys are smashing it. Absolutely.
So,
On
Jordanna,
there.
Yes.
what bad habits annoy you?
About
30
what?
seconds.
What bad habits about somebody annoys you?
Chewing with the mouth open where they're eating.
Right. 20
Yeah, I would second
seconds.
that.
I've
Right,
got
who-
my
what
mouth
guys,
wide
let's
open.
bring
down
trying
last
to
bit.
20. Who is your what is your musical guilty pleasure, Andrew? 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
The Human League. The Human League. I'm a boy of the 80s.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Go on, George. Another question.
Jordanna, where is the worst place you've been on holiday?
Worst place.
Right, I've finished.
Um,
That's it.
Right, don't stay there.
it was Nuki.
Right, okay. Right, come away from your models. Come away from your blockheads. Right.
Can I take my mask off?
Take your mask off. Hey, I tell you, you ain't done bad.
You haven't done a bad
at
job.
all. Right, have a
Oh my
look.
god, that's so funny.
Look at bring in Dolly Court. Look at it, lower down. Wow, what do you reckon, everybody?
I forgot to take the clips out.
Right, let's have a look at Jordanna's first. Let's get a closer look at Jordanna.
Good.
Look.
Darling.
What do we all think to that? Can you take them clips out? Let's check the
Yeah,
balance.
take the clips out, George.
Oh, don't
Round
tell
of
me that.
applause. That fringe is
I
good.
think she looks like Claudia.
I think she's
Yeah, right.
like her sister.
Well,
She's like a
I-
long lost sister.
I'm going to let everybody else vote. So
You're watching on and you need a fringe trim. Come to me, sweetheart.
let's have a look at the length. Just check out the length balance, Jordanna.
Yeah,
Check out the
there you
length
go.
balance. I want to see. Is it how level is it?
What we took.
Yeah.
What do you need?
The sides. What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
I'm quite impressed.
Round
I'm
of lots
so
of round of
impressed,
applause
yeah.
there. Blindfolded
I
clippers.
mean, what's this? What's
Yeah,
this?
but, hey, but the fringe is good.
Asymmetric.
I'm going to let everybody have a... Right, let's have a look at yours then, Andrew. Let's just see yours. Okay, bring in. So decent, Mary's saying. Oh, right, can we bring in closer? Yeah, let's have a look. Lower her down.
Tell you
Yeah,
what.
take her off. Yeah. Let's get a look.
That's
Oh,
really
I
good.
think you've got... Yours is more of a straighter
That's really
fringe.
good. How did you get a fringe like that?
Right, so
Years
who
of
is
practice.
the winner? Right, that's tough, isn't it? That is
Oops.
a tough one. Where are we going now? So, votes.
I think you've got to give them draw. I think you've got to draw them.
We had a draw last week. I'm going to wait for the 20-second delay. So I'm just going to wait for your comments to come in, everybody. We're going to see. So count these up. So Sarah Mason, she said, looking good, Andrew.
Did you like my
I have to say, Jordanna. Emma says Jordanna. They're Josephine mannequins are loving their fringes. Josephine, thank you for reminding us there. Faye's going Jordanna too. They're going Jordanna. Shelley, she's gone Andrew.
Yay!
Phil Cullen, he's gone Jordanna. Sorry, Marlene, that's definitely a draw. Nicola, Andrew. Oh my goodness, this is tough. Well, I don't know. Shall we let...
At least Andrew's fringe looks a little bit graduated, whereas this is far too blunt to be Claudia.
George, I'm going to leave it to you. Who has won this challenge this week?
I've got a drawer.
George, can I just throw something in? Can I please just throw a prayer in?
Yeah, go on. Go on.
If that was Phil Cullen, my boyfriend, voting for Jordana, that can't kind of count.
Well, I think more the votes.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm drawing you.
A drawing. I'm not having another draw. I can't have another draw this week.
You don't give me the option then, Dom, to choose and then take it away from me.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to win on Jordanna's fringe wins. Do you think I think the fringe is more Claudia? But the overall
I think they're both brilliant.
Both get it. All right, you both won. Thank you so much. I love
Yay!
it. So right, we'll let you get yourselves all tidied up. So put Josephine back to side. Thank you again, Pivot Point, on that. I hope you enjoy it. And guys, everybody watching in, is there a challenge that you think we should do for our guests next week? Have you got some ideas? Get in touch. We'd love to get your ideas on that. Is there any topics that you'd love to do? They're still coming in with the votes because with 20, so Andrew, yeah, I think it is down the middle, George. I really do. I think you've both done middle, fab. Though. Joe Mayhew. Hey, Joe. I want to try this now on my blockhead. Yeah. As we always say, when we did say the challenge, we did say to the guys were really concerned that they were going to have to shave off all the hair, one-time use, but we want to make sure that these blockheads get plenty of use. And I think that's really important, actually, isn't it, Andrew, to make sure these blockheads get plenty of use.
I will be using them on my Able program.
Yeah, absolutely, Georgia. So yeah, both we're still down there. Yeah, it's good. Look, time's gone. 15:15. I can't believe it. We're there.
Wow.
And it's just flown by. What a wicked show. Honestly, loving it, Andrew, tonight. It's been great. Andrew, before you do go, I know you do a lot of work with charities as well, and I'd just like you to maybe just share. I know something you do with Little Princess Trust.
Yeah, if I could give a shout out to the Little Princess Trust. It's an incredible charity. I'm the hairdresser ambassador and Headmasters with the official salon supporter. They do incredible work. They collect donated hair lengths, hair that's given to the charity. They make it into wigs, and then those wigs are given to children who lose their hair through cancer treatment. It's an incredible, incredible charity. If you go onto their website, you can see a tutorial from me in terms of how to cut hair off in the best possible way when people want to donate their hair to the charity.
Oh, amazing. Jordanna, George, it's been great having Andrew along tonight, hasn't it?
It really
Fantastic.
has. And you lifted my spirits and reminded me of the true passion and magic that happens behind the chair. So thank you so much for today.
Yeah, Andrew.
That's what Yorkshire people do to you, Jordanna.
Andrew, have you enjoyed being with us all tonight?
Absolutely. I've enjoyed every single second. Thank you for having me as a guest, and I would love to come back.
I think we'd all love you to come back, and you're on Instagram. If anybody wants to come and reach out, get in touch. What is that handle, Andrew? Before we go and find out Andrew_Barton_hair. And if there's any dying questions that didn't get mentioned or no time to be asked, just send them on, and I'll do my best to answer them all. Yeah, there's a lot of love for the charity. So look, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you here, and we do look forward to bringing you back on in the future.
Thank you, everybody.
Green room.
Thanks, Andrew.
and then go and have a drink, and we'll come and say proper goodbyes to you. If you've got to shoot off, no worries, but just hit that mute when you go in there, Andrew. So everybody, goodbye to Andrew.
Bye, everyone. All the best.
Bye.
Oh man, what a wonderful show! Yeah, George, you look really close to the screen there, didn't you? I could see you back away, didn't you?
I was like, whoop, I'm there.
Oh, what a fun show! Loving this style of show, aren't you? Is what stood out for you tonight, George?
Oh, I really like seeing Jordanna and Andrew do the challenge. To be honest, I think that always brings an element of laughs. Always, again, I'm loving the hot talks. I think they're really important. I think we need talks like that to ignite the industry, to get ideas flowing. A little bit unsure about the random topic tonight, but again, it keeps it fun, doesn't it? At least I know what spirit animal I'm going to be.
Yeah, well, that's it. And what would you take for tonight, Jordanna?
Well, I think tonight was all about reminding ourselves, about the magic of being behind the chair and what we do best, and our passion, really. I particularly enjoyed the challenge as well.
I thought it was great. You actually both done really well.
Really well.
2.5 minutes, clippers, blindfolded, them fringes.
Yeah, that was tough. I'll get you back, George.
It was really good.
I'm
So
sure
what
you
you
will.
got ahead for the week then, girls? You got much planned up in this lockdown? How many weeks in we are now, Jordanna?
Netflix and chill, Hans.
Sounds good. And George, what's coming your way?
I've got a few courses that I'm going to do this week, a little bit of education. I might have another go on the kettlebells, but since I did them the other day, I can't actually walk, so I might not. And then I'm going to be maybe doing a little bit of online training with my assistants and my newer hairdressers.
Brilliant. Well, look, thank you so much. I love it. I can't wait until next Monday. Just a reminder, next Monday, I think we've got, is it Angelo coming onto the show, Jordanna? Angelo
yes, we have
Valley.
Angelo Valilo from DNA Art Space, and he's going to be giving us some great insights into his career, but also bringing the new hot topic to next week's show. So definitely make sure you tune in. He's got a really interesting start to his career. Ex-footballer.
Brilliant. All right, well, lovely to see you both, and go and hang out in the green room, and I'll be with you in 2 minutes. See you all.
Shortly. Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye. Remember to mute yourselves. So there we have it. A great show tonight. I've really, again, just enjoyed it. I love Andrew's emotion. I think his passion for the industry, how he represents us all, is just so much. So there's been some lovely, lovely comments coming in, how much you've all enjoyed this. Well, I can't tell you how much we all enjoy it. It's an absolute pleasure to do this every week. So next Monday, we're back on Mondays, 8 o'clock. The best way to make sure that you never miss a show is that we've got our Facebook community, but this is going out live in our Facebook page. So that's facebook.com, How to Cut It. Give us a follow or a like. That's where we tend to host it from, and that means you can share it out afar. So thank you so much. Shout out to this week's podcast that we've done. This is great. I really, really love this. It's about being sustainable as a hairdresser going forward in 2021. JC Ucomp is absolutely brilliant what he's doing there. I think it's something that you all need to listen to. So podcast providers, Spotify, wherever it is, How to Cut It, episode 185. Really, really good subject. So it's great. We look forward to being back to you all next week. If there's anything for the challenges, topics, get in touch. There was something else that I was going to say. But I'll have to say it next week. I'll say it next week. So we'll leave that as it is for today. So until next Monday, peace, love and smiles all the way. And thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.